I mentioned before that there are Trinitarians, Unitarians, and then us Four Winds Fellowships, and there are others besides us that use the term correctly. But I wanted to point out the errors that the Trinitarians and Unitarians use and how they play musical chairs with the word God, right? And we're just not going to let that happen. All right, so Trinitarians will interpret the word God as we have defined it. That is, it's a concrete, personal, relational noun. Whenever it refers to either the Father or the Son or the Spirit, they will say, "Oh yes, it's a concrete noun. Yes, it's personal. It's relational. Yes, it's exactly as we have defined it, right?" But they interpret God as an abstract, impersonal, and non-relational noun in those passages that refer to one God and the use of singular pronouns. Now, the Bible talks about one God many times, and we've looked at a few of those. There are also literally thousands of times that the singular personal pronoun, he or him, is used of God, and throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament as well, right? And they're singular, they're not plural. And so they will, of course, the pronoun obviously is simply repeating the meaning of whatever its antecedent is, and that in most cases it's talking about the one true God, right? So it's singular God. So you can point to the word God as being singular, theos in Greek, or you can point to the personal pronouns as being singular and say that, well, that's not three persons, that's one person, because personal pronouns have to do with persons. And they will say, well, yes, but in those passages, the word God is abstract. That is, the word God is referring to the divine essence. And so it becomes, okay, there's a divine stuff or divine essence that's shared by three persons. But see, what they're doing is they're eliminating the word God being a personal noun. They're eliminating it being a concrete noun. And they're even eliminating it being a relational noun when they do that, right? Now, why do they do that? Because how else are you going to accommodate one God, all the one God statements, but your claim that there are three persons who are collectively one God? See, this is the problem that Trinitarians run into. So they redefine the word God and make it an abstract noun. Well, you would think Unitarians would call them on that, right? Because Unitarians believe that there is one ultimate God who is the Father alone, and that the Son and the Spirit are not God in the same sense, eternal God, as the Father is. But they do the same thing. They do it for one example, they do it in John chapter 1, where it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Well, the word God there is a personal noun. It's a concrete noun. It refers to a person who has a relationship with those under his dominion. And the Word is God. That statement right there means that the Word, Logos, is a person who was with God at the beginning. And that's the only thing it can mean, unless you play fast and loose with the definition of the word God in that clause. So now the Word was God becomes, well, the Word was a divine plan. That is, it was something that's not really God, but it had some characteristics, some abstract characteristics that's shared with God. No, that's not what the text says. All right, and that is being extraordinarily subjective. It's doing exactly the same things Trinitarians use. And my point is that Unitarians really have no basis to call out Trinitarians when they say that, well, God, in the passages that refer to one God, that, that's talking about, one divine essence that's shared by three persons, and so that's how they can make three into one. Unitarians have no basis for calling them out on fudging of the term God in that kind of interpretation, because they do exactly the same thing in John chapter 1, verse 1. All right? They do the same thing. Well, if we're going to be objective, we can't do that. We can't play musical chairs with the word God. The word God has to mean the same thing all the time, everywhere it appears in the Bible, or we are not being honest and objective with the text. All right, so at Four Winds Fellowships, we insist that the word God has a single definition that fits its application everywhere it appears in the Bible. All right, that's a really important topic there.